Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
All praise unto Yahweh, Shema Shah, Abba Shema Kadash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone. Alright, I'm the brother Bud.
Brother Russell, I'm off.
Brother Napash.
And we are from the GMS London camp. And hopefully, you brothers that are watching the video back at home are doing all right, hasting in the day. And through the intervention of the Holy Spirit, we're just going to get into some scriptures and into some edification, which is a good thing to do in the times that we're living in right now, to be focused and locked in on the scriptures, man. So Lord's will, it's going to be edifying, okay? So I think you had the precept you wanted to start off with.
This is Job chapter 18, verse 5. Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. Which really symbolizing this time that we're in, because it's coming to a point where, you got the, on the left-hand side, you got the Illuminati. They call themselves the Illuminati, the illuminated ones, because the elites of this world, they know certain things. Just say they are wiser than Daniel. So they say they know certain things, certain truths. They know, first of all, that they're the Edomites. They know that you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites. They know these things, so they have a certain amount of light within this world. But what they promote darkness. Well, their light is about to be put out, man. Okay, their understanding is about to be put to shivers when the Lord returns, man. And then the true understanding and the true light is going to be in the kingdom of heaven, man. When wisdom is really going to abound and grow.
That's right.
This is Isaiah 60:2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth. Isaiah 60:1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of Yahweh is risen upon thee.
Yeah, which really starts with Yahweh Shai and this wisdom. Before the physical manifestation of the Lord returning in his chariots, the Lord has given us what? The Comforter, his word, man. And that's a light on our path, on this journey that we're going through, man. In this world of darkness, as the brother's going to go into, because it gives you the light to see. See the bullshit, see the lies, and see through the deceits of this man's kingdom.
Yeah. So for behold, the dark this word is the oil, and you brothers, and we'll give you a test.
Candle.
What elder always mentions the value of the oil? Exactly, and he always mentions how the owl can see.
Yeah,
at night, and he always mentions straight after there's something about that oil. Something about that oil. Yeah. I mean, joking aside, the reality of the situation is that this word is likened unto that oil. It's going to help us see through the dark that the brother was pushing. What's the first thing? Arise, shine, for thy light is coming. Yeah. Right? We're living through this is the darkest time. Right? You're talking about when you had the Babylonians. Like when you watch these ancient movies and you see some of the heinous acts that was being committed in terms of witchcraft and just a left-hand vibration being pushed out there. They're saying it like it's the olden times, like we don't do that. The whole system that we have out here, you look at a TV, all you're seeing is negative. Okay, all you're seeing is left-hand energy. Yeah. You look at a car. You go on YouTube, they'll show you videos about cars and the different iconography. I believe that's the correct word. Iconography that you have within a vehicle. All right, you go to a particular food store, they got iconography. That's all about what? The left-hand energy, man. And when you get this oil, you become privy to that.
Yeah. I was going to say as well, with oil, you had the ancient kind of lanterns. You had the torches that you'd wrap with the cloth, and you put the oil in it and burn it. Yeah. We'd have the lanterns, with the candle wax.
Parable of the 10 virgins.
Can't. I've got a quick precept on that point I just made. This is Psalms 119, verse 105. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path, which is this word.
But sorry, right? So I ain't so familiar with that precept, right? Read that again from the top. That's a beautiful precept, man. Because that goes into a lot. That goes into a lot.
Psalms 119 and 105. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet.
Now, what do your feet do?
walk, and also give you the
Okay.
foundation.
Okay, does not the scriptures say this truth is likened unto what? A straight.
gate.
But if the word is likened unto what?
Lamp.
Then where are you going to put your feet? You're going to be able to put your feet in the correct place, right?
That's right. That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
On that path. Yeah.
On that, you're going to stay on the path. It says within the book of 2nd Ezra, it says what? It says on the left-hand side was likened unto what?
Fire.
On the right-hand side was likened unto what? And then what happened? What happens if you can see where you can go through that? Imagine you was walking through that narrow path in the dark, likened unto these different people. What's going to happen? But see, guess what? This man's got it to where the fall is glorified.
Yeah.
When you fall into the fire, when you fall into the fiery flames that is this world, and you get consumed therein, they glorify that. See, if you commit, like we just was mentioning, if you commit adultery, what happens? People glorify that.
Yeah,
well, I took your woman. All right, you make money off of left-hand means. What do people do? They glorify that. I sold so much drugs. They make records about that.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? They make records about that.
Yeah, the receipts.
So we
That's over a car.
They make records about that, yeah. So what does that go to show you? That it goes to show you that when you slip up on this side, it's better that you have the lamp to see that you don't slip up, because on this side, if you do slip up, this world's going to uphold you, man.
Yeah. And the scriptures talk about how we are chosen from the world.
Yep.
Right. Which is why we get the hate we get, because it's like we're talking about adultery, might be at work or whatever, and then geezer will start mentioning about, oh, yeah, she's fine, and you'll be like, oh, yeah, but you know, she's got a man.
She's got a man, yeah.
And they're looking at you like,
I mean, you could take it to one level. For instance, right? I'm gonna give you an example. Tell me if you agree or not, because I'm just thinking off the top of my head. But there was a particular instance where it was a woman's beauty was so. It said Judith.
Yeah.
It was a countess. She was beautiful. So there's a limit. Yeah. You know when you're being lustful.
Yeah.
You know when you're being lustful. So there's always a balance to it.
Because the scriptures will reference and describe women as she was good to look, fair to look upon, she was a comely woman or whatever, what have you. Right? But it's just you create coveting.
That's it. That's it. And that's how this world looks upon things. You say, oh, she's beautiful. You know what this dude thinking about, man.
Yeah.
He's thinking about breaking her over a table.
Yeah, he's saying she's beautiful. How can I have her?
That's it. That's it.
I was gonna say as well, if you're in darkness and you fall, that's a great fall, you know, because you can be falling down those sides on that path. But if you've got light, then the scriptures say a righteous man falls 7 times and get back up.
You might stumble and then
you might stumble, you catch yourself, or you might fall on your knees, but you see the path and you get up and you keep going.
That's it. Like, I mean, I think about TV programs like Witcher and stuff like this, and you think about these ancient characters and they're walking through this narrow path and this mystical fire on the left-hand side and this mystical deep water on the right-hand side. You might slip up. You've seen it on the TV programs. You know, rock falls into the water and it's dramatic. You see the splash and shit, or maybe the rock falls into the fire. You see the smoke burning and all that. It's dramatic. But what do you see the guy do? He
holds firm.
And
hold fast.
Yeah, when you're on those kind of paths and you're going up climbing up this mountain, in a sense, you know, the destruction is represented by the wind.
Yep.
But what's going to keep you firm in that wind? It says, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of that time.
Stability.
You know, can I finish off this precept again? Yeah. And it says, and a light onto my path. You know, to back up what you were saying.
Cool. Just a quick one. It says Revelation 3:11. 2:25 rather, Revelation 2:25. But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come. Right, and what you call it? Hold fast means basically hold it tight, don't let it go. Right, and you you consider a child, right, when he's in a crowd of people and he gets scared. What does he do? Hold his parent's leg or whatever. Hold it tight. Just not let him go. And that's what do we have? We have this truth, right? And we're supposed to hold it fast, and you know that's supposed to be what keeps us stable in these times. Scripture says, Isaiah 33:6, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of our times, right? Keeps you stable, man.
Good precept.
Right? If I can say, if you know there's we're talking about being able to see the path, right? If you know that there's a boulder that's gonna be thrown, if you carry on walking, you'll be hit. What will you do? right? You ain't going to be surprised, but you slow down, you let it pass, and you carry on going. Well, but these people in the world, they don't realize there's all kinds of different things that are going to be thrown their way. So when they do, there's going to be caught unawares. And what they always say, the sucker punch when you ain't looking is the one that will get you.
The phantom punch, Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Phantom punch. And you see a lot of times when Mike Tyson got someone, they didn't know it was coming.
Yeah.
They didn't know. And that's how this man set this whole system up. When you get gotten, you don't know. And that's why brothers got to be careful of them different lusts that you have when you was in the world, man. Right? You had a particular lust to be a fashion mogul, a fucking musician or whatever. That's them demons that get you. And then you don't know when the sucker punch is coming. Because it just slithers, isn't it? Satan's. What does demon mean? Smart.
Yeah.
Intelligent.
Intelligent.
In computing, you have they call it a daemon. They spell it different, DAEMON. But that's like a process that just kind of runs, and it's in the background.
And that's what a demon does. That's what a demon does. That motherfucker be running in the background. You thinking okay, I'm in the word.
Yeah.
I did 3 videos a week. I showed up at camp. Now I'm just gonna fuck about because I'm covered. Don't work like that, man.
Yeah.
It don't work like that, man. The Most High requires like you have a woman, right? Fine ass woman, right? I mean, I'm talking about fine, and you really in love, like you feel for this woman, right? Not this modern day love that we have these days. I'm talking about that ancient love, that old school love, right? That ancient love where you go your nobleman, you're like, look at that, look at what I got over there. But what do you expect? You expect 100% unadulterated attention from this woman because that's your possession, and we are the Most High's possession. So what does the Most High demand?
100%.
100% attention.
Okay. And I was going to say as well, it's funny, I was going to say something completely different, but now that you said that, the Most High makes it very clear in the scriptures that he's only there for Israel, which means that he's possessive over Israel. You know, which like women will say that if a man's really like in control, they'll be like, he's so possessive. He's so possessive.
Yeah.
You know,
but they get off on that.
Yeah,
get off on that.
Yeah. Oh no, I had a precept to you. Proverbs 3:18 dealing with wisdom. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is everyone that retaineth her.
Right. Brother Carbo did that, which was looking into the trees and the roots and the foundation. Right, but how you get the wind that will be moving it or whatever, what have you. Right, but the wind, but the tree's roots, because it's grounded.
So okay, your connection is it's back here.
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
It's cool.
Yeah. But he was saying how the trees and the root is it keeps it firm, but it's the harder it gets, the wind pushes. And the more that the tree has to do to protect itself against the wind, the harder and stronger the tree becomes. And it's sort of like all of the trials and tribulations that you get into this tree.
Which the deeper its roots goes into the foundation.
Yeah.
Which means it's a harder tree that can take the knock and take the wind.
Yeah.
You brothers know what bauxite is?
Bauxite.
No. But you just reminded me of what I was thinking about.
Bauxite is aluminium ore. Right. To get this motherfucker to be aluminium, right? And aluminium, when you come into the engineering world, aluminium is a very precious mineral. In terms of its cost, it's expensive, but it's not too expensive. All right, you can mold it, you can extrude it, you can make a whole bunch of components out of aluminium, right? Aluminium, what they call aluminium compound, has some other minerals to it. But bauxite is basically useless. Because bauxite is what you call the aluminium ore, right? The impurities mixed with the aluminium is what you call bauxite. How you find it in the ground. That's how we was. Some of us are still like that, but that's how we was when we still came into this truth. It was the bauxite.
Like the molten slag you get on a
That's all good.
Like the molten slag you get on a glass iron furnace when you.
That's it. But before it gets to iron, it's just what is it? It's just rock.
It's just rock.
And it has to go through the furnace of adversity. Like the scripture says within the book of Ecclesiastes, the 2nd chapter. It has to go through the furnace of adversity in order to be classified as what? Useful.
Yeah. If I can add to you, the scripture says, the Most High giveth the increase. Right? Because he said some brothers, and then that's the thing. It's just like how You might have a bauxite place where it's being mined. You might have some parts which are easy to extract the aluminum, and some parts which take a little bit longer. And that's just what it is in this truth. Some brothers will, like say, Scripture said it perfect. Every man, one, let every man be persuaded fully in his own mind, and two, the Most High is the one that giveth the increase.
I got a precept for you.
Yeah.
This is Psalm chapter 51, verse 17. The sacrifices of the Most High are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite spirit, O God, thou wilt despise. And if you look into that word, contrite or broken, really both are the same thing. To crush, be crushed.
But imagine this. Let's put that into. You can read the scriptures. Yeah, takes experience to put the scriptures in context, right? So let me tell you what a broken mind looks like, right? A broken spirit, right? You come into this truth, right? And first of all, it was a bit heady, okay? You cursed out your whole family, right? Cursed out your girl, all right? You damn near lost your job, yeah? And you become seasoned within this truth, right? You become a damn near a master, right? Navigating through this word and still being a man of the Lord, right? I believe I believe by process of time you can achieve that. Yeah? You can become seasoned within this truth and be able to maneuver. But check this out. Become capable of maneuvering, right? Let's say you have 2 kids. You have a family, right? Them 2 kids go to what's known as public school. Them kids are going to bring back philosophies of this world.
Yeah.
It's not going to be crushing to you. Yeah. So you have a woman. That woman's going to go through the system. She's going to have a bank account that's tied to the system. She's going to have ambitions that's tied to the system. She's going to have a family that's tied to the system. So when that family calls their grandchildren and their daughter for Christmas, is that not going to be oppressive? That's not going to make you contract. Mm-hmm. That's going to make you mad as hell, man. Because here it is. They're happy about what? They're happy about doing something that's destructive to their own survival. Yeah. And you got to sit there. That's what? That's going to break your mind, right?
Break it down, yeah. Yeah.
That's going to break your mind. Because here it is, you're a man, and you know what a good scripture that goes into this? You ain't going to get it. The good scripture that goes hand in hand with that precept is what? Knowledge maketh the wise man mad.
Yeah.
With much understanding cometh much grief. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's funny because I brought this up because you were talking about the aluminium and the ore, how you got to really break away those impurities. And, that's the sacrifices that you make by the sacrifice of the lust of the flesh, and the things that you put that away with time and come closer to the Lord. Really, the Lord breaks you down. And that's an acceptable sacrifice, a broken and contrite spirit. Yeah.
I got a quick one
because I believe it was King David that said it. The increase of the wicked will make you mad, man. That's in the Psalms 37. Fret not at the prosperity, roughly paraphrasing. Fret not at the prosperity of the wicked.
Psalms 58.
Psalms 37. Psalms 37. This one I know. Psalms 37. Fret not at the evildoers, and when they increase, because you see Esau's increasing right now, man. I got a damn Edomite at my workplace. The guy looks like he actually looks like a demon. And he's increasing.
Compound interest.
The compound interest. Motherfucker's increasing, man. Yeah. All of that wickedness, all of that shit that he talks about the men of the Lord, because he found out about the men of the Lord.
I did. So I won in Psalms 58 does actually touch on what you.
But they're increasing.
Yeah. It's Psalm 73:3. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked.
Right, because you're in the flesh. Let's be real about it. You're gonna. What was we speaking about a second ago? What was we speaking about? Purchasing vehicles. Mm-hmm. We're speaking about some affluent vehicles. Mm-hmm. We're talking about some run-down vehicles. We don't even know who sat in the car.
Second hand,
third hand, fifth hand, sixth hand.
Yeah.
Right, the worst car you could possibly get, but we're hopeful that this car's gonna run. You think the wicked's doing that?
No.
You think the people in the world are going to be doing that? So what's going to happen when you have what's known as a chance interaction with these individuals? You see this guy pull up within this nice car and this, that, and the third. You're going to go through
£600 a month Mercedes.
That's £600 a month Mercedes. You're going to go through what the scripture just said there. Read it again, Baba Kasha.
For I was envious at the foolish.
You're going to be envious at the foolish because what? We're in the flesh, man. We're in the flesh. Let's be real about it. We're in the flesh. We eat, right? We shit. So we're in the flesh. Okay, not to say when we get the celestial bodies, we're gonna still eat and defecate. Fancy word for shit. We're still gonna do those particular things, but guess what? We ain't gonna be subject to the flesh.
Mm-hmm. And you can see those things that these goodies that Esau's got, but you got to remember as well that just he got that from a certain way.
Yeah.
And the scriptures say, "Envy not the oppressor, choose none of his ways."
None of his ways, and that's what I'm hoping that's what's gonna get into that.
No, this is going into like there no bans in they're not in trouble with them.
I've got a piece of it if you want.
That's
that's
good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we'll get yours one after. Yeah,
but there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men.
They're not in trouble as other men. You see how Esau's winning right now, and the wicked of our own people. But you go on these social media things, which I don't recommend you do that too much, especially Facebook. In fact, there's an order out there not to be on Facebook, especially if it's a camp type information. But bro, come on, man. You see these jakes out here, like you didn't know who this guy was when you was in school, but now he's winning. And you go, what means?
Yeah,
it's some dark, shady path, man, destroying his own people. Same thing with Esau. Same thing with some of these Negro women, man. They be winning with Esau.
Yeah.
Okay, they done forsaken their own people. They're out there with a red Hebrew Edomite, all right, slubbing on his rod, and that's how they drive that X5.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the reality of the situation. That's what's happening out here, man. Okay, families are being slaughtered so people can look like they're doing all right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It says they are not in trouble as other men.
And they're not in trouble. We're in trouble. We're in trouble.
Because the scripture in Deuteronomy 28 chapter, what does it say? And these shall pursue thee.
Yep.
So you might be thinking everything's all good, then no one day your house burns down.
That's it.
Now you got to do with that. So you were doing good, but now you got a whole house to, you won't even have insurance on that.
We're going to be in that trouble right up to the Lord.
And
Jeremiah 30.
Was the proof that's a good scripture. There's also another scripture. It says, "Then shall you have perfect rest."
Right,
also in the book of Isaiah.
Let me get you something real quick. This is Hebrews 13:14. Just on that point, real quick. It says, "For here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come."
Because you might be in America. You got Jakes out there. They call him what? African American, all these different, really derogatory terms. 10 times, man. African American is like, come on, man. Right? But that's not this. That's not your city.
Yeah. Fantasy is going to be destroyed.
Go on. Get in, man.
This is finishing off Psalm 73. That's verse
like
5. They're not in
the cinema, chilling, man. Quiet as a mouse in the cinema.
Yeah. So they are not in trouble as other men. Neither are they plagued like other men, right? So they don't have to go through some of the issues that Jake have to go through. I remember speaking to my old gym buddy, and he was like explaining to me why he would never deal with a so-called white women, right? And he was like, "What would you talk about? Like what you talk about? Right, their electricity running out. They go and just look at you like a charity case. Whereas Jake know what it sounds like for the electric to run out, man. He's out and you're doing what you're doing, and he's Jew." Right,
that makes some of the best stories too. Makes some of the best stories, man. Remember that time when the electricity ran out and we had to run to my deep store and buy some candles?
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. Right. Get the candles out. You chatting all night. All of a sudden, you realize about technology. Hour-long conversations, hours of conversations.
That's right. Yeah. Says therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain.
That's what you see when that's the main interaction between Jacob and Esau out here within this society. Am I wrong? Pride. You see Esau exemplifying what the scripture calls Pride.
Yeah, and he said a chain as well.
There's a chain.
It's like Jake loves their chain.
When you wear a chain, man, what do? You wear that to show off. You don't know to hide it. So that really, Edom come with the stunting of the pride, and that's true. And if you follow the way that, if you listen to their conversation, to their filthy conversation, you realize that they're like, yeah, and then I did that, and then I fucked that, and they're stunting about the wickedness that they're doing, their pride,
or the stunting about the things that they have. The places they've been, you hear them on the train. And then like we went to Bali, and oh my god, it was so good. I met this guy there, and we went back. He came back to my house that my mum bought me.
Hey, if you come across a Jake will most likely, if you don't know the Jake, most times he'll just say to you, hey, what's up? Let's say you start a conversation, you say, what's up? You good? That's how the conversation will go. The Edomite will say, oh, so what do you do? Instantly want to come out with that measuring stick of measuring themselves against you in this world, which you can't measure against an Edomite in this plane, because
it's their kingdom.
It's their kingdom.
Their kingdom.
You had a head start, man. You already had the start. You almost at the finishing line.
Check this out. The Most High is so bad, right? The Most High is so bad. Sorry, I didn't mean to interject. The Most High is so bad. Here it is Esau's kingdom, right? Esau's he's got iPhones out there. He's got like smart TVs out there. The dude who created the microphone, bro. The dude created the microphone, bro. Bro, you can speak to a motherfucker here, and the motherfucker doesn't even have to be on the same ground you're on. You can still hear this motherfucker crazy.
A lot of stuff that's Jake.
But that's what I'm saying, right? But check this out. The Most High is so bad, even after all that Esau's come up with. Remember the scripture says Esau's wiser than Daniel, right? All of that winning he had over us, all of that slavery, the hardcore slavery we had, all of that, and still Jake's best, most articulated, the top family win in the UK.
Nice family. Well,
who's nice family, man?
Who killed the royal wedding? Who was the most talked about part of the royal wedding?
The fucking Jake Chalice, man.
Yeah. Sheku Carney Mason, man.
Motherfucker put too much spice on that motherfucker. Yeah. Too much spice.
And you could see it in them devils' faces, because that's the thing. They've accepted we're faster. They've accepted we're stronger.
Yep.
They've accepted that we're better with the women. Right? And then you can see that in their interaction when they're around Jake. All of that sort of thing. That's why they make certain jokes. Like you see they get they get extra uptight when they walk. Like if you're a Jake, you walk in his Edomite couple, you see him get extra protective, like, look, man, I don't want your woman, right? But they've accepted those things. But what they were holding on to
was intellect and class.
Yeah, which we're slowly but surely finding out.
Bro. Not slowly.
It's already been there. Yeah. It never went away. It never.
Now we're wiping the looking glass.
It's not even that. What had happened was, since we had the so-called Shalom. Since we had it to where Jake was able to integrate and go to these different schools, you had some Jakes that was there just having fun, right? You had some Jakes there that were spiritually blessed. Yeah. Remember Nikola Tesla, them guys that were Jakes.
Yeah.
So the most I could have that dude come back like a Nigerian, and that's what they found out. The top Nigerian, the top robotics guy, engineering robotics guy in the world is a Nigerian dude that's less than 30 years old.
It ain't the Moabites, the so-called Chinese Esau likes to push.
They're just good at copying.
Yeah, they're good at copying, man. Right, the real class and intelligence is this, and it's different. England is different to America in one way. England's tiny. In America, you might have a whole neighborhood. Like you might have some bad use, whatever, like a bad neighborhood. But you literally walk 5 minutes out of that neighborhood, and you're seeing a full terraced houses, right, with a nice Mercedes outside or whatever, what have you. You don't have hoods like that. So what happens? You get Jakes that will go to school around Edomites or whatever, what have you, right? And then they're interacting with them, and they can't. Although Esau's the devil, right? But them Edomite schools for the most part are pretty good. So Jake's amongst them. Then he's got their connects. Then it's like going to school with them, whatever, going into work because of them, whatever. And then when he's at work, he's outshining them.
The one thing that Esau doesn't have is social intelligence. So if you are, and this is one thing that Esau really hates about a Jake like me, when you get down to the nitty gritty of it, like a brain surgeon, 70% of the job, most of us, you could do it. You could do it if you follow the steps correctly. You could do it.
It's a list.
It's a list. You just tick boxes, right? I'm not saying you could do it tomorrow, but you could do it. Okay. Now you have social intelligence, so you've done 70% of the job. Maybe not so much brain surgery. Let's say it's engineering. Let's say it's being a mechanic. Stuff like that. You're gonna build from somewhere. Let's say it's working in the post office. You're gonna start from somewhere. Let's say it's managing a bank. You're gonna start from somewhere, right? But guess what? If you can do 70% of the job of a smart person, which is about the difference, 70%, 70 and 30 is about this. Oh, he's so quick, he's so smart, he got 90% of the test. I got 70. I'm so stupid. But you got 100% more times social intelligence. Who do you think the manager's gonna pick? You're gonna pick a piece that's gonna work with the unit. That's why Jake excels. Because you know how to interact with the environment that's around you. Now, what happens when you have a second generation migrant, a third generation individual out there that's privy to, who has a father that's privy to these different informations?
If I can add real quick, just add the point there, you said a second generation migrant. That would be, in the words of the scripture, that would be a Greek. Guy who's in the system, he knows nothing else. People ask him, where are you from? You get people like over it, like in England. Oh, where are you from? I'm from London. You know, where your family from? They're from Nigeria.
Well, it's funny you said that, because guess what happened when you had the Greeks assimilating with the Romans? When you had them Jakes that call themselves Greek assimilating to the Romans, what happened to the Roman Empire?
Oh, it became
the Holy Roman Empire. That's what we're living in through right now. But it ain't gonna be the new England. It ain't gonna be the new America. It's gonna be the new Earth. And I saw Jerusalem descending from heaven, etc., etc., etc. That's what's gonna happen. Because this time the Most High ain't just gonna have it to where our spice is gonna take over the world. Okay, our flavor, our intuition, our intellect is gonna take over the world. The Lord's just gonna have it to where this one is just gonna get taken away.
I've got some for you.
And replaced.
This is Daniel 7:18. But the saints of the Most High shall
take the kingdom. Starting first and foremost with who?
Esau's kingdom.
No. Who's
the
Yahushua.
Yahushua. There we go. You can step up. That's so good. That's so good. You're buying the drinks tonight.
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
Now, what's the mechanism that's going to keep us possessing the kingdom forever and ever and ever?
We're going to have the new bodies. So we ain't
Which goes back to what?
The second covenant.
The second covenant, man. So the second covenant is about what?
Us having the whole kingdom, dominion and rulership forever.
Forever.
And ever.
How did they even sneak into that one? And I'm saying, like, motherfuckers think that they could just sneak. The second covenant is Israel having the kingdom forever. By proximity.
Okay. I've got a precept for you.
Go.
This is Deuteronomy, because one of the things that's stopping us from having that right now is the curses, because we're breaking the law.
Because we don't have that perfect body.
That's right. So we've got to, one of the curses is you go against your enemy and you're going to split 7 ways against them. Pretty much you're not going to prevail against your enemy, which is the heathen and the Edomites. And if you look at Jake, just from an observation point of view, like Tulsa, Oklahoma as an example, Jake really is in the ability to build up, because we were talking about we're the smartest with this and that. Really, you leave Jake alone and Jake will build up and Jake will be strong. And what do we lack? We lack the defense. We lack an actual military might, which Yahushua is going to bring that. And he's going to change us so that we don't, after the defense, it's not just going to go back to the same shit. It's going to continue in that righteousness. Because King David, before King Solomon's reign of peace, when Jake was really growing, before that you had King David putting down all the enemies that were coming up against Israel. There was constant war, But once he put them all down, then what happened? He had a time of peace with King Solomon. But this time is going to be different to that time. Although there was 40 years of peace, it's going to be a never-ending peace and an eternal peace, because not only are we going to be defended, but after the defense, we're also going to be changed to be right.
We're going to be changed to the point where you can't war.
But guess what? The spirit of them, because it was one thing for King David to take those particular nations down, But when King Solomon was ruling in righteousness, you have to remember everything starts off as an idea. I have to go Elder Ariella on you guys. Ideas have weight. Thoughts have weight. Right? When you have a particular idea in your mind that has weight, right? You go, hey, bro. Where does the idea come from? This is Elder Yasuo, bro. Where does the idea come from? Where does it go to? Right? Where does that idea come from? Comes from the Most High, right?
Inspiration.
Spiritual inspiration. A man could try to slap himself on the chest and say, look, I came up with that idea. But the reality of the situation is that the Heavenly Father puts that idea within your head. So when you have the second covenant established, there's no need for Jerusalem to have walls. In fact, the scripture says our doors is going to be open continually. Why? Because that idea ain't even gonna. I got cursed out for that. Because I said, man, when them Edomites rebel and the kingdom brother said, no, they ain't even gonna rebel. Why are they not gonna ever rebel? That spiritual, that thing of the spirit getting into their head and telling them to rebel. It ain't even gonna go there.
Well, Isaiah 2, there should be war no more. Brother Paul with it.
Yep.
I got the precept I was gonna read. Yep, this is Deuteronomy 30:7. And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. You know, which the curses that are on us now, they're gonna go on our enemies. And that means all of them, not just Edom, all the heathen. You know, it's gonna go on them, man. And you know, the heathen, not Edomites. Edomites can be done away with, but you know, after 1,000 years. But the rest of the heathen, you know, if they don't break the laws, which they will do, but when they keep the laws, we're gonna bless them as well. They're gonna get rain and certain things within their rate. You know,
we're gonna take all the fine ones that they want. You know, brother, someone say that one.
Tributary.
You're gonna throw that one in there. Jake watching at home is like, oh yeah. They're gonna be on YouTube. Like
they're gonna be tributaries. We're not gonna do what Esau did and take over the whole planet and take all the resources. We're gonna do that.
When you check out all the ancient rulers of the world, they pretty much had a similar kind of thing that we're gonna do. They had vassal kings. You know, they conquered particular nations and they put vassal kings in those in rulership in their place. But we're gonna do the same thing, except she's gonna be better.
Yeah, you're gonna have your kings. You're gonna have your Xerxes. You're gonna have your Dariuses.
Yeah.
All that. You're ruling the heathen. You know, Elam and what. They're gonna get ruled, but they're gonna have to pay their tribute, man. To the true rulers.
The true rulers.
The gods.
The true rulers.
I've got a couple for you, brothers. This is Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are on authority, people rejoice.
Why are they gonna rejoice? That's what gonna be like. It's gonna be righteous, but why?
Yeah, because their children are gonna be growing up to full age.
But why?
Because we're gonna be.
But why? Because the wages of sin is death.
God, yeah. I mean, you still pretty
that was a big leap. I wanted you to chime me in next time we know, yeah. Because the wages of sin is death. You got sin as you got it within Esau's kingdom right now. You got a situation where, okay, you're winning, but for how long? Yeah. Like a lot of these, look at Bill Cosby, he was winning for a hell of a long time. He's not winning like where he is now. Okay? I mean, it's not so much what he was doing with them particular women, but guess what? The Most High called his number for whatever he was doing. Yeah. Okay, he might have been committing adultery. He might have been well, obviously he was integrated into that particular society, so he would have sold his soul. So the Most High got him. But it's gonna get worse for that nigga, man. And many other individuals alike. Yeah. Because when it comes to the situation with the women, especially the young women, we don't tell you to go out there and deal with young women. It's Esau society. Yeah. But there's many instances within the Hispanic community where they, for instance, of purposes, get away with that. Yeah. Why? Because the Most High ain't got no qualms with it. But what happens when you commit adultery? What happens when you sell your soul to the devil? Yeah. What happens when you do all of these things that the Most High said not to do? The Most High is going to give you the wacko zappo.
Yeah. The scripture says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of sons and men is fully set in them to do wickedly.
That's right.
So because it's not like we say a stove where you touch the stove, you get burnt straight away. Right? If you do that, you're like, okay, cool, that's still hot, let me not touch that. But where the Lord works,
like Kevin Hart said, it's hot.
Yeah. The way the Lord works is you might put your hand on the stove and you get burnt in 3 weeks' time. But you feel the pain in 3 weeks. Like, oh shit. Right, but because you couldn't feel it when you was touching, you left your hand there. Right, just kept on burning,
and that's adultery.
Yeah,
that's covetousness.
Yeah,
it's burning, but you're like
adultery.
Yeah, you can't feel the pain yet.
You can't feel the pain yet. Well, the pain's not there.
Yeah,
the scripture says that the Most High is slow to anger.
That's right. Yeah, but will not at all equip the wicked. I think it was one I just quoted. Yeah, it's the one I just quoted. The word. Yeah,
Set us not against an evil way.
Yeah. It says, finish off Proverbs 29, and I've got another one after. So when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, people mourn. And like it or not, however many holidays or not, these people out here are mourning, man. Right? Which is why every single week they're always trying to get wasted and laundry. The amount of
don't get drunk, bro.
These Edomites, man.
Well, they're through, man. They're through.
They're through. That's why they do a whole load of drugs, man.
They're through. They're actually through. Remember what the scripture says. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but then I do mean to cut you off because I want to make a point. Yeah. Remember what the scripture says. Better is like as a small. You have to remember how it goes. It's better a small house where there's love, or there's it's like a full house, than a big house that's basically is empty.
Right.
I forget the exact wording of it. Maybe your brother could post it up. Basically, it says that what? It says it's better to be poor in good health.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I think that's another good scripture that goes with that. Better to be poor in good health than to be rich with bad health.
Mm-hmm.
And these people got mental issues. Yeah. Depression. We all get depressed, especially when we're here, especially the mental Lord, we get depressed. Yeah. That's just a product of the system.
The thing is, we're depressed because we're in a world full of wickedness.
That's
we're trying to be righteous.
They're in their world. They're depressed. This is what the Most High gave them, and they're depressed. I mean, look, man, you can name me all kind of problems that a brother might have with this truth, but reality of the situation is that what? If you're the man of the Lord comes back, when you're in your kingdom, you ain't gonna be depressed, bro. Let's just say you're gonna have 7 reasons to be satisfied.
Oh, the scripture say that when you're in a time of things going good for you, you don't think about the bad time, tribulation.
But we're talking about Esau. Why is Esau depressed? He's in his kingdom. Why he has to travel 3,000 miles to leave his own house, try to find happiness? Yeah. You got to think about that. Why does a motherfucker have to have 7 holidays a year? Because he's fucking depressed, bro. But think about that. Why would you take out a loan for 10 grand to go to travel? You're looking for happiness, man.
Well, Esau is a big drug taker.
Oh yeah. They took all kinds of stuff, man.
With legal drugs, or because what adrenaline, like there's a lot of things they do, like skiing, throwing themselves off a bloody mountain, and all of that sort of stuff. You slip on a rock that you don't see, and then look at Michael Schumacher, man.
I'm talking shit to a Jake. Oh, he could have been a Jake, though.
No. But it's like, sorry,
That dude was too bad. He was too bad. He was like the Lewis Hamilton before Lewis Hamilton.
Exactly. Sorry, I didn't phrase that correctly, but just showing you the example of like how. You go do that skiing shit, and then just one slip, and then bang, you're falling off a mountain.
That sounds like a Jake. You mean when he did that sounded like a judgment for a Jake to be fair. And you think about it, he thinks he's on top of the world, best driver in the world, commits adultery, now he's dead, half dead, doesn't it? Sounds like some judgment some Jake will get.
Yeah, you got skydiving as well. Like I said, they need them drugs. It's that drug taking, man.
Which that's going against the law anyway. Tempting the Lord,
yeah.
You know, they love sinning, don't they? I got a precept. This is Isaiah 24:4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish.
You are the haughty people of the earth.
Haughty means proud. It means the most proud. Esau.
Oh, America! The American army will never get taken down. Yeah,
he said the same thing.
That's the truth. No, but it's true. It won't get taken down. Most I give that blessing. He who toucheth Cain shall get the curse of Cain.
And I actually looked at the word for languish, and it says to be weak, to droop. You know, depressed, to languish, to be exhausted,
to be
weak, to grow feeble.
You've been speaking about that. You made that example 12 years a slave, what, picking the cotton?
Oh man, bro. Go. Oh boy, yeah,
What's your point?
He's looking at you like, you remember that thing I said word for word? You want to say it now?
Yeah, no, 12 Years a Slave, you know, it's a good movie. There's a scene where the you know, Esau is lining up to Jake, and he's finding out how much cotton they picked, you know, and if last week they picked 200 pounds of cotton, and then this week they picked 190 pounds of cotton, he'd bring them out and he'd whip them. You know, and I thought about that, and I was like, hold on a second. I really thought about it. That's the same shit my manager pulls at work.
Yeah.
I was like, if my this week ain't as good as last week, then I get reprimanded for it. You could do better next week. So what am I gonna do? Do better every fucking week? Pick more cotton every single week?
Just exponential increase up to infinity.
Which you made the point, which is why this kingdom is so shit, because they're like that Habakkuk 2. You know, that death, like he is as death.
You can never be
satisfied because he's never satisfied. What ends up happening is you get a bunch of people pretending to be mediocre, never going abounding more.
Yeah.
Because he's never going to be satisfied with what you do anyway. You're a slave. So people in this society, what they do in their jobs is they just get by and nothing runs. That's why people forget shit when you try and move your gas, electricity, or you know. They forget shit. It happened to me as well. You know, they don't take instructions. This kingdom's through, man.
Because, like you said, if you do more, then next week you're expected to do more. Then next week you're expected to do more. Next week you're expected to do more.
Hey, it said Jacob is a plain man dwelling in tents. Yeah. You know,
Jacob settles on mediocrity.
You know, when you're doing something, man, you know, in the kingdom, things are going to be perfect anyway. You know, you're not going to look at a brother and think, you know, look, I've got 24 crops of, you know, I don't know, let's say, I've got 24 pounds of cotton, let's say. Okay, I've got 2 bottles of wine, you know, and that might be a good balance or a good exchange. You're not going to sit there and go, I want 200 pounds of wine or try and trick. That ain't going to happen in the kingdom, man.
The more so does the life false ways.
That's right. So everything's going to be in balance, and there's not going to be all the shit that we're doing now. Really, that goes to the scriptures where it says that they should wear out the saints.
Yeah, that's right. Can you read the next verse? Because we was talking about because I've been watching a lot of documentaries, and there's a common theme in what you call it, these.
Yeah. It says the earth, verse 5. Yeah. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
Yeah, the earth is dying, man. But the earth is defiled. It's nasty. The earth is
actually, was watching a documentary.
Yep.
Plastic Ocean.
No, I wasn't watching Plastic Ocean. I was watching. It was One Strange Rock, right? You know, it was a bit shit. It was an Americanized documentary. This one, with Will Smith being like the host of the show, whatever, what have you, right? But basically, you know, one common theme in all of these nature documentaries is balance, right? He was talking about the water cycle. For instance, it's like sand from the Sahara Desert is important for the Amazon rainforest, right? One part of the world is interconnected and joined with another part of the world.
Boy, it's all connected.
All connected.
Fukushima disaster, Pacific Ocean.
Kills everything.
Kills all the oceans because the Pacific Ocean is one of the main oceans that connects all the oceans of the world.
Exactly. And then you got the, you know, different currents or whatever, the water cycle, all of these have an effect on the world. So this man in his documentaries will tell you about balance. But what doesn't he do? He doesn't consider balance. Where he just takes and destroys, as we quoted again now, Habakkuk 2, he is as death and cannot be satisfied.
Cannot be satisfied.
Can't. His brother posted, he said, there's a scripture, he said, brother said, Israelite culture is about being content with what you have, you know, and it made me think of the scripture that says, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces him, you know, because really, we ain't going to be content here because we're not in our right state of mind.
This place will pollute you.
Right, but we do have that content spirit, you're right, man. But the way of the wicked seduceth our people, man. The flash car and this and that, you know, all that wickedness out there, you know, that's a trap. This is a big trap. Remember, it's a straight gate. Broad is the way that leads to destruction. And this man is a cunning hunter, and the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So if the whole earth is given into his hand, into the hand of a cunning hunter, wouldn't he lay traps everywhere?
Oh yeah.
And
I like that. I like that. You know, brothers been working on that at work all week.
That's right. He was talking about a trap. It's one of those traps at a university, man. Because before Jake going to university, they've got a certain mindset. They've got certain moral standards. They'll be like, nah,
especially the women. They got moral standards before they go to uni.
Yeah.
And they see what happens with their girl next door. It's like, oh my lord, you get away with that shit.
Yeah.
Change girl, man.
Change girl, so change person.
Don't send your daughter to uni.
Yeah, scriptures talk about it. It says a daughter, a gad abroad, right? Scriptures is in Sirach, the 26th chapter, right? But part of that, a breaking down of how Jake thinks is that university process. So now you're around a load of Edomites, right? And then their covetous spirit is, rubbing up on you. You're now trying to compete with them. The people you can't compete with, now you're trying to compete with them, right? Because shit that everyone in the hood thought was cool, like, you see, mama, he's driving a 1 Series, but these guys had a 1 Series for their 17th birthday, right?
I've got a precept.
Yeah.
This is Revelation.
Just seduced by that, man.
Yeah.
Don't be seduced by that. It's going off.
Yeah. This is Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Yeah. And the image of the beast is talking about the philosophies and the doctrines of this man's system, this man's kingdom.
Yeah.
EU and NATO, the beast. Yeah. So one of the things that you mentioned is, for example, going to university, right? That's like, what do you do when you go to university? You learn about feminism.
Yeah.
Homosexuality. These are the things.
Rights.
Yeah. And really, all they promote is they just promote, you to be a better slave. It's just the next level. Really, it's the next level of the public school system.
Yeah.
And it's the first level of masonry.
Yeah.
Because that's why at the end you get a degree, and you get a master's, and
One thing that they was trying to say, they said pretty much they wanted, they was trying to have it to where every person had a 3rd degree in Freemasonry before you come into Freemasonry. That's one of the principles the elite banking families have. They said they want to have everybody up to level 3 in Freemasonry before you even come into it. So from uni and all of that, you're in school, all you're learning is the level 1, 2, 3.
I'll go one for you. What did Labour push? Jake always vote Labour, right? What did Labour push? Labour pushed every student should go to uni. Oh, man. Right now, this was part of the witchcraft, because they were doing that, and their parents, were sending their children to uni because they thought, that's the best thing to do. Right, but these times, they send their daughter to uni. These times, their daughter's sucking 10 dicks, right? Because that's certain things that you didn't know Jake were into. Jake got into university, man.
You're being modest.
Yeah. It's a
all these sex parties and all of that. That ain't Jake do.
Bro, that's no joke. That's what's actually happening. That's what actually happens.
Yeah.
That's what actually happens. People think you're over sensationalizing. That's what actually happens out here.
Yeah.
And Esau's made it that way because it makes the flesh happy.
Yeah.
For a time.
I've got a precept that brother posted. It says Exodus chapter 22, verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. Which that's right, man. You don't follow a multitude to do evil, and part of people bowing down to the image of the beast is that's a multitude. The multitude are going to do that. Remember, the image of the beast, is the philosophies. Now, if you're all up into the man's system, then more than likely you're going to take that chip, because the elect are not of this world, man. They're not. This is not their rest. They're not going to fall down to the wiles of the devil, man. Yeah. We're actually doing the opposite. We're breaking down the strongholds.
Precept with that as well. It says the Sirach 7 and 16. Number not thyself among the multitude of sinners, but remember that wrath will not tarry long. Right? This is a precept to that. Just basically echoing the same sentiment, right? And going on to say, look, man, the Lord may look like he let you go, but we got to remember this one thing. One day to the Lord is 1,000 days to us. So 1,000 days to us is 1 day to the Lord. So the Lord might not get you back for 10 years, man. Right? But that's only in the Lord's time. That's only a couple of seconds, man. Maybe a couple of minutes. Right?
precept.
Yeah.
Proverbs 10:2. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death.
Ooh, that's right. That's right.
Bro's got the precepts today, boy. God,
Yeah, hey, righteousness delivereth from death. Well, because we mentioned it earlier, the wages of sin is death. Whereas when you're trying to be right, the Lord puts that cloak on you, right? That cloak of exemption from judgment, right? You know, was it Psalms 23? Is it? No, Psalms 32.
What are you quoting?
About let me get it. Sorry, I'm completely butchering that one. This is Psalm 32 from the top. Blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Blessed is the man unto whom Yahweh imputeth not iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no guile. Right? So if you're being righteous, right, and you happen to be of the elect, the Lord has given you certain protections. Right? You know, you consider it what that's that thing of diplomatic immunity, which and when you look at it from a very basic perspective, you know, a diplomat can do certain things and get away with certain things. Right? When you look at it on a basic level, and that's ultimately, you know, what we are. So diplomats, for example, are ambassadors, but we're ambassadors. Ambassadors for Yahweh Shai.
Yeah. Also,
right?
kings and priests, future kings and priests.
Exactly. And what will an ambassador do? The ambassador will always try to be the best that they can. And yeah, every now and then something might happen where they might fuck up or whatever, what have you. But for the most part, they're doing the best that they can, right? Which is us in this thing of us. We try to do the best that we can. But the way the Lord has set it up is every now and then we go and fuck up. And why we go and fuck up? To remember why we need Yahweh Shai, right? Yeah, nice. I think was, you know, just gonna start, you know, wrapping it up there.
Shall I read some of the precepts?
Yeah.
You know, brothers posted precepts, so I'll read some of the ones we didn't get to read. Dead to this world, Shalom, bro. You know, Proverbs 16:19. Better it is. We read that one already, right?
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes, yeah. Better it is to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud, which I think was similar to what the brother was trying to get earlier, you know. And it says, 1 Timothy 6:10, for the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah, so if I can stop you there, it says the love of money. Because money ain't no problem with money. It says Abraham was rich. Abraham was rich. So it's not money that's the issue, it's the love of money. When you love money, you do whatever you can to get money. Right?
Keep money too.
That's right. That's right. To keep money. What does the scripture say? It says in Matthew 6, isn't it?
You know, it's fine.
Yeah. What does the scripture say? It says, "Seek ye the kingdom." Basically, seek ye the Lord, right? And the Lord will add everything unto you, man. Right? For instance, one of the burns that would you call it? You know, every man, you know, most men rather. Let me put it that way, because Paul said otherwise. One of the burns that men have is they might want a woman. But look, man, if you seek the Lord, right, and you just do what you got to do for the Lord, then when the Lord deems it okay for you, he'll send you a woman, man. That's no issue. Everything that you want, the Lord knows what you want before you even ask for it, man. So, oh, Lord just requested one thing of you.
I'm gonna fuck you up. The Lord put that need there that you think you have. You think you need something. Who do you think created the concept of need? Who do you think put it within your mind to think that you need? The Heavenly Father put it in there, man. Think about that. I feel hungry. Well, go eat then. Why? Because the Lord made you feel hungry. There's a system in play. Okay. And you should feel like you need particular things within this society. You know why? This is stress relief. No. I'm saying, because how can you possibly have everything you want if you're the righteous and you're living through a wicked society? It's impossible, man. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get principle. I've got principal things. Is it principal things? In Sirach.
Water, oil.
Yeah, do you know where you can get that, bro?
Let me grab that.
That's one point, I think, with what the brother said. You know.
It's Sirach 39 and 26. In fact, I'll start from 24. It says, as his ways are, Sirach 39, 24, as his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. Because you read these scriptures, you understand, okay, cool, don't commit adultery. It's simple, right? But to someone who ain't meant to get it, it seems like the hardest thing to break down to them. Because you're like, well, even when you know, sometimes in the world, you might be speaking to someone, you might not break it down in the scripture. But you're like, yeah, but that's not good. Or, it is what it is, church or whatever. But yeah, if that happened to you, you feel away. Yeah, I know, but X, Y, Z.
What I scriptures say that he that commits adultery lack of understanding.
That's right. So are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. Right? Some people can attest to certain things. They might tell someone about the scripture and they're eating, and then you tell them, yeah, you can't eat pork. Can't eat pork. No more bacon. That's a stumbling block for them. They can't continue with it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's funny, I was talking about one guy today in the world that I spoke to about the truth years ago. And I told him, he was like, yeah, he's down and listening and all that. Then I told him, look, man, you can't get shape-ups.
Mm-hmm.
And he stood there, he thought about it for about 5 seconds. I could see the clock's ticking. And then he just said, no, I'm too vain for that.
Mm-hmm.
That was his stumbling block. That's Jake.
He chose a missile for a shape-up, man.
Well, to be fair, when you read the writings of Paul, he went as far as, so really, I mean, you got to think about what Paul was saying. Paul was saying, look, you got to give these Israelites time to get really vested within the truth before you can ask them to be circumcised, let alone even a shape-up. It takes Jake time. It took time before we had to go up on that particular level. You have to work with Jake, yeah? You bait him and you hook him and you deal with a brother for a certain amount of time, but you don't want to do these wasting your time, and that's what you have to do with.
But that's why there's a spirit to it. I'll give a testimony.
Brother, you know the context anyway.
I'll give a testimony. There's a brother, who taught me. He told me about the truth. That I know he's one of the brothers. He told me about this truth, and I only knew about the truth for a couple months. I remember we were at a friend's house, and I didn't know everything. Obviously, I just literally just learning fresh, new. I wasn't in the camp or nothing. I just heard about the truth from this particular brother, and we everyone ordered Chinese, right? And I was just sitting there, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have some of them prawn crackers," And he said, bro, you're not meant to be eating that, And you know what? I could have just sat there and be like, well, I have prawn crackers. When he said that to me, I took it seriously. And I said, okay, no, I ain't going to eat that then, And I ain't had no prawn crackers since, man. So that's a testimony to say that, well, let every man be persuaded in his own mind. So everyone takes their different time and everyone has their purpose. But the elect are going to be sealed anyway. They're going to get this. They're going to be of a quick understanding, and they're going to get it, man. But the guys that are basically turning their back on Yahushua, well, they're going to be seen, man.
That's right.
It's going to be seen who's the Lord's chosen and who isn't.
That's right. It says, "For the good are good things created from the beginning." So,
who's the good? The Israel, man. And right now it's starting with the Israel, the Most High, the elect, and it was created for them from the beginning.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. It says, "So evil things for sinners."
Evil things for sinners.
Yep.
Damn. Sorry, bro. Because
Because
the sinners of our people and the heathen.
Scripture says, "The wicked of my people shall be destroyed. The sinners of my people shall be destroyed by the sword." Roughly paraphrasing. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and blood of the grape.
Yeah. So the Lord made principal needs, man.
Yep.
There's a need, and hey, the Lord created these things, man. But you know what? I've got a precept for that.
Yeah. Also, and just to finish off, and oil and clothing.
Yeah. But hey, ultimately, man, the trust and belief in Yahweh Shemel Shai supersedes all of that.
That's right.
Now obviously you gotta eat, right? What did the Lord even say? He said about the bread.
Man cannot live by bread alone.
Yeah, he said man does not live by bread alone. You live by bread, but there's more to it. So then you got the needs, but then you've also got your spiritual needs, which is the forefront, the main thing.
Yep.
I had a precept. Yeah. This is Proverbs 4:7. It says, "Wisdom is the principal thing." That's the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding.
That's right.
Because you can be getting wisdom, but how you getting that wisdom? You have to understand, and the understanding is going to be done by the exercise of it.
Yeah, and so the trials and tribulations that you're going to go through, and all of that, like brothers might speak on certain things. It's only when you live that particular thing do you get a whole new understanding of everything, which was I was a high priest of Ariel, which the elder said we're here to experience what wickedness is like.
High priest Yaakov.
Salakia.
I believe it was high priest Yaakov.
Yeah, Salakia, right? But it's just that thing of, because now you can judge a situation better, right? Like for instance, if you've never been, hate going, which call it this direction, but because it's easy to explain. If you've never quote, been done dirty by a woman, or whatever, what have you, right? And then you're trying to judge a situation where a bro might have done something or whatever, but, regarding a woman, right? You might be like, you might not know how to judge that situation the correct way. Whereas when you've experienced certain, obviously not no adultery or whatever, when you've experienced that thing, then you can be like, okay, this is roughly, you basically gives you a better understanding, it makes you a better judge in particular matters.
Okay. I got a precept for you.
Yeah.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 5. It says, it's dealing with the fruit of the tree that the Lord said not to eat.
Yeah.
Or the knowledge of good and evil.
Yeah.
It said, for the Most High doth know that in the day ye eat, and this is the serpent talking.
Yeah.
For the Most High doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Yeah.
Which really, this whole process we're going through is to bring us to that God status, man. Knowing, going through the good and going through the evil. Then we're gonna have a complete understanding, man, and that's gonna come through what? Yahweh and Yahushua, man.
That's right.
That complete understanding, that higher level of being, and that's gonna come in the kingdom, man. Right now, Scripture said Jacob, as a reference, Jacob is a worm.
That's right. We ain't shit.
Right? Yeah. Let's read that, bro.
Yeah.
Probably close out on this.
Yeah.
This is Sirach chapter 21, verse 15. If a skillful man hear a wise word, he will command it and add onto it. Commend it, Salakia, and add onto it. But as soon as one of no understanding heareth it, it displeaseth him, and he casteth it behind his back. Oh, that's Psalms. Hey, that's Psalms as well, because that's a brilliant scripture, bro. For Jake, but it's also Esau. What did thou to do with my words? I cast it behind my back and all that.
That makes me think about great minds think alike, but that's another scripture. Jake says this all the time. What does he say? Player knows player, or player be player.
Oh,
like
yeah.
That.
Player knows, and you looking kind of unfamiliar.
Real recognize real, because you recognize, you recognize it, and then and then you just like you build, man.
Yeah. Jacob was got that pseudo, realize real life. Jacob was coming that shit. Jacob was coming that shit, bro.
I knew what you meant. I realized.
Yeah.
Those I was edifying. It goes up. Well, yeah, so those of us edifying, so we're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Makakadash, double honors to the apostles of GMS, Shalom to you brothers in the common board, brothers watching. Till next time.
Shalom.